Alright, 5.6 is quadratic formula and discriminants. Let's take a look at some examples here with the quadratic formula and discriminants. First of all, you got to remember the quadratic formula, so it's just negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And this is a, and this is b, and this is c. So you just plug it into your formula as negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 3 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 9 all over 2 times 2. So underneath the square root, 3 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 9, you end up with an 81. So this is negative 3 plus or minus the square root of 81, and 2 times 2 is 4. So really we have this over 4, and the square root of 81 is 9. So really what they're saying is, what is negative 3 plus 9 divided by 4? That is 6 over 4, or one answer, 3/2. And they're saying, what's negative 3 minus 9 divided by 4? Well, that's negative 12 over 4, which is negative 3. And there are your two answers. Once again, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So this is your a, this is your b, and this is your c. So it's negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared minus 4 times your a, which is 3, times c, which is negative 15, all over 2 times your a, which is 3. So underneath the square root, that's 4 squared minus 4 times 3 times negative 15, and you end up getting negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 196. 2 times 3 is 6. Well, the funny thing is, the square root of 196 is 14. So really what this is saying is, what's negative 4 plus 14? Well, negative 4 plus 14 is 10. 10 divided by 6 is 5/3. So we end up getting 5/3. And negative 14, or sorry, negative 4 minus 14 is negative 18 divided by 6. We get negative 3. Remember, because it's quadratic, we get two answers, so that actually changes into those two answers right there. Quadratic formulas are the same, so this will be the last one here that I do. It's negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And this is a, this is b, and this is c. So once again, it's negative 7 plus or minus the square root of 7 squared minus 4 times 5 times negative 6 for c all over 2 times a, which is 5. So underneath the square root is 7 squared minus 4 times 5 times negative 6, and I get 169. So negative 7 plus or minus the square root of 169 over 10. And the square root of 169, that happens to be 13. So we end up with negative 7 plus or minus 13 over 10. So negative 7 plus 13 is 6. 6 divided by 10 is 3/5, so one answer is 3/5. And negative 7 minus 13 is negative 20 divided by 10 is negative 2. So there are your two answers. Alright. Skipping over some of these. Just keep in mind, when you're doing these, you need to get everything onto one side. So I would move the 25 over when you're using the quadratic formula. So you get x squared plus 10x plus 25 equals 0. And now this is your A, that's your B, and that's your C. So when you plug it into your formula, negative B plus or minus the square root of B squared minus 4 times A times C all over 2A. Underneath the square root is 10 squared minus 4 times 1 times 25. You end up actually getting a 0 underneath there, so it's negative 10 plus or minus the square root of 0 over 2. Square root of 0 is just 0, so really negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5 is your answer. So it's all about getting the same thing or everything onto one side here. So you add 20 to both sides, so you get 5x squared minus 20x plus 20 equals 0. Once again, this is your A and your B and your C. So when you're doing this, it's negative B plus or minus the square root of your B squared minus 4 times A times C all over 2A. Underneath the square root, you end up getting a 0 again. So all of that's 0. So really you end up with negative 20, which is a positive 20 over 10, which simplifies to just being 2. And we will finish up here when we come back.